Welcome to the next installment of my lecture series for managerial economics. And we're going to be taking a look at Chapter 15, the Q&As. And of course, we're going to start with Q&A 15.1. Suppose that everyone in our used car example is risk neutral and potential car buyers value lemons at $4,000 and good used cars at $8,000. The reservation price of lemon owners is $3,000 and the reservation price of owners of a good used car is $7,000. The current share of current owners who have lemons is 20%. Describe the equilibrium. So here we have the important information that we need to know. First off, we know that the probability of getting a lemon, or the proportion of the cars that are lemons, is equal to 20%. Therefore, good cars occur 80% of the time. For individuals who are willing to buy a car, their willingness to pay for a lemon is $4,000, and their willingness to pay for a good car is $8,000. So the highest price they're willing to pay for a lemon is $4,000. The highest price they're willing to pay for a good car is $8,000. The minimum price that owners of lemons will take is $3,000. That's their reservation price. And the lowest the owner of a good car is willing to take is $7,000. So what we need to do is to calculate the expected value, the expected worth of the cars, because we have probabilities that are occurring here. So the expected value of the car is going to be 80% multiplied by the willingness to pay for a good car. So good cars occur 80% of the time, and they are valued at $8,000. And then we have to add to that the lemons, which occur 20% of the time, and they are valued at $4,000. So we get that that's equal to 6,400 plus 800. So the expected value of a car, given these probabilities for the car being a lemon and the willingness to pay for lemons in good cars, is equal to $7,200. So let's take a look at this. If that's the price that's going to occur for cars, how many cars will be sold? Well, if we take a look at, if you own a lemon and the minimum you're willing to take is $3,000 and somebody offers you $7,200, the car will be sold. And also for good cars, the same thing will occur, that the expected value of the car exceeds the reservation price of good cars. Therefore, the equilibrium in this marketplace is that the equilibrium price is going to be $7,200 and that all cars will be sold in this marketplace. We now move to Q&A 15.2. It costs $10 to produce a low-quality wallet and $20 to produce a high-quality wallet. Consumers cannot distinguish between products before purchase. They do not make repeat purchases, and they value the wallets at the cost of production. The 5 firms in the marketplace produce 100 wallets each. Each firm produces only high-quality or low-quality wallets. Consumers pay the expected value of a wallet. Do any of the firms produce high-quality wallets? So what we're going to do with this is we're going to make the assumption that all the firms are making low-quality wallets and see if there's any incentive for somebody, one of those 5 firms, to decide, I'm going to start producing high-quality wallets. So the assumption that we're going to make is initially, the initial condition is going to be all 5 firms are selling low-quality wallets. All right? So if all firms produce low-quality wallets, the expected value is going to be equal to $10. Why? Because remember, consumers value at the cost of production. Low-quality wallets cost $10 to produce. So 100% of the wallets are going to be low quality. Therefore, the expected value of the wallets is going to be equal to $10. How does this change if one of the 5 firms decides they're going to start producing high-quality wallets? Well, the expected value is going to change because now we have associated probabilities with the low-quality wallets being produced. So the remaining 4 firms, or 80% of the firms, continue to produce low-quality wallets, which are valued at the cost of production, which is equal to $10 bucks, while we have the renegade firm, the one firm that decides that they're going to break away and produce high quality wallets. So that's 20% of the marketplace, and they are producing high quality wallets which cost $20 a piece. So if we multiply that through, the expected value is 8 plus 4, and the expected value in this new market where one firm is producing high quality wallets, and they constitute 1/5 of the marketplace, the expected value of a wallet is going to be equal to $12. Now, if we take a look at this, why would this firm accept this situation? They've introduced high quality wallets, and this has caused the price to go up to $12, but they're paying, or it's costing them, $20 to produce these high quality wallets, and they're selling them for $12 because of the information asymmetries that exist in the marketplace. So realize that why would the firm go into a situation where it's actually losing $8 per wallet when it was making a normal rate of return on their investment previously? Also, realize what happens here is that they are actually benefiting their competitors. Their competitors see the price go up to $12. So firms that were producing low-quality wallets and kept producing low-quality wallets, while the one firm started producing high-quality wallets, sees the price go up to $12. So their profitability increases because of the fact that another firm in the marketplace decided to produce high-quality wallets. So in this scenario here, no firms will produce high-quality wallets. There's no incentive for anybody to produce high-quality wallets, because if they do, they're going to lose money, and they're actually going to improve the profitability of the firms that they are competing against. QandA 15.3. This was quite lengthy in the textbook, so I decided that I would just read it to you instead of actually having it appear on the screen. Traditionally, the Las Vegas home bank made only prime loans, providing mortgages just to people who were very likely to repay the loans. However, Leonardo, a senior executive at the bank, is considering offering subprime loans, mortgages to speculators and other less creditworthy borrowers. If he makes only prime loans, the bank will earn $160 million in profit. If he also makes subprime loans, the bank will make a very high profit, $800 million if the economy is good, so that very few people default. However, if the economy is bad, the large number of defaults will cause the bank to lose $320 million. The probability that the economy is bad is 75%. Leonardo will receive 1% of the bank's profit if it is positive. He believes that if the bank loses money, he can walk away the job without repercussions but with no compensation. Leonardo and the bank shareholders are risk neutral. Does Leonardo provide subprime loans if all he cares about is maximizing his personal expected earnings? What would the bank's stockholders prefer that Leonardo do, given that they know the risks involved? So let's go here and take a look at what's the important pieces of information. So if this bank only makes prime loans, we know that their profits are going to equal to $160 million. If the bank decides to make both types of loans, now we have to figure out the expected value or the expected profit, because profitability is dependent upon whether or not the economy is good or whether or not the economy is bad. So the probability of a good economy is 25%, and the probability of a bad economy is 75%. If the economy is good, profits GE, good economy, would equal $800 million, and the profits, if there's a bad economy, would actually be losses of $320 million. So we have to calculate the expected value of this. So we just take the probability of the good economy, multiply that by the profits if the economy is good, and we add to that the probability of a bad economy, multiply that to the profits, or in this case losses, when the economy is bad. So we have 25% multiplied by 800 million, and we add to that 75% multiplied by negative 320 million. So the expected value is equal to 200 million minus 240 million. So the expected value, or the expected profit for the bank itself, is negative 40 million. But what we want to take a look at here is let's take a look at Leonardo and what incentives are in place for Leonardo, and to see whether or not his course of action would be different than the shareholders of the bank. So under this scenario, if we're taking a look at this, we would stick to only prime loans because the profits are equal to $160 million versus an expected value or expected profit of negative $40 million. But let's take a look at Leonardo. Leonardo, if he maintains only engaging in prime loans, his salary is going to be equal to 1% of the profits, or $160 million. So his salary is going to be equal to $1.6 million if they only engage in prime loans, the banks, if he maintains that strategy. We want to take a look at how that relates to what his expected salary would be, if he were to engage and use both types of loans, conditional on the type of economy that's out there. So the expected value for Leo, or the expected salary for him, is going to be equal to his compensation multiplied by the probability of the economy occurring. So we realize that when the economy is good, the bank, when they engage in giving out both types of loans, they will have a profit of $800 million. Therefore, Leonardo's salary is going to be $8 million. And if the economy is bad, remember in the text it said he could walk away without any repercussions, he's going to have no salary whatsoever. So we multiply those through. The expected value of Leo's salary under this scenario is equal to $2 million. So you can see by the compensation structure that he is incentivized to actually engage in providing both types of loan, even though that's contrary to the expected value or profits of the bank itself. So let's actually take a look at what's actually going to be the profits of the bank, because we have to also include Leonardo's salary into their profit calculations. So we just looked at expected profits before. Now we want to take a look at when we include the cost of Leonardo's salary. So if they engage in only prime loans, the profits of the bank are going to be equal to $158.4 million. They were going to make $160 million. They have to pay Leonardo 1% of that. So they get to keep 99% of that $160 million profit. Let's take a look at their profit if the bank engages in both types of loans, with the condition being that it's going to be the profitability is going to be impacted by the type of economy that occurs. So realize the expected value or the expected profit of the bank itself, or to the shareholders. I have sub S here, I guess I'm referring to shareholders, is going to be 25% multiplied by 792 million. Realize that the profits are 80 million, but the bank is going to have to give Leonardo 1%. So the bank is going to be able to retain 99% of the profits, or 792 million. Also realize here that if we have a bad economy, Leonardo's compensation is equal to 0. Therefore, the entire loss falls upon the shareholders themselves. So the issue here is, the moral hazard is that the incentive structure that's occurring is that Leonardo doesn't share on the downside. If the bank loses money, he has a salary of 0. Therefore, he does not share any of the pain when the bank actually loses money. So if we multiply this through, the expected value for shareholders is 198 million minus 240 million. Therefore, the expected value to shareholders is negative 42 million. So what this is doing is to illustrate how, one, that the compensation schedule that was set up for Leonardo was set up incentives for him that were completely at odds with the incentives of the shareholders. He actually is incentivized to take a riskier strategy in order to maximize his salary, but in doing that, he puts a lot of risk onto the bank, and because he doesn't share that risk with the shareholders, he's more likely to take risks that the shareholders themselves would not take.